What is good? I mean, what is really good, my people? It is UK. Try to brother Dr. Blick, the darkest man around. And today, guys, I'm here with Vengefulwilberg. Say hi to the people, man.
What is up, bros and bras? This is your boy, Vengefulwilberg, here with my boy, Dr. Blick, yet again. And thank you for bringing me to such an intriguing discussion.
No problem, man. It's always good to have you on my channel recording another controversial One Piece video. So today's video is pretty much gonna be spawned off the topic that Dugan and Dr. Love were having on Twitter, basically about One Piece Burning Blood and whether it was a slow game. Was the game too slow? Like, me and Venge, we're gonna put our overall thoughts, opinions about it. We're gonna kind of dive away from what Dr. Love and Dugan said and put our thoughts about it. Because we're not here to pick sides, we're here to put our overall thoughts, bearing in mind we played the game a lot, so that's why we're doing this. So, if you guys think Burning Blood's slow, put your reasons down in the comment section below. And, yeah, Venge, so, in your opinion, is One Piece Burning Blood a slow game?
Before I begin, I'm going to provide some constructive criticism. One thing that people fail to understand is an opinion is never a fact. I just had to throw that shit out there. But with that out of the way now, honestly, the whole idea about One Piece Burning Blood being slow, I mean, I find that hard to go with. Is it a yes? Is it a no? Honestly, there's a lot of factors to consider, but in my opinion, I would say that it's not necessarily slow. Like, what I will say is this: it depends on the situation, because one of the things that people cannot ignore when it comes to One Piece Burning Blood is the simple fact that defense is a contributing factor to this game. And what I mean by defense is you have to be more conservative, because when you look at games like Xenoverse 2 and Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, both of those games has some kind of mechanic that allows you to get the hell out of dodge if you are caught in a combo. In Burning Blood, depending on the type of character that you have, you can't save yourself. Once you get caught in a combo, you're pretty much caught in a combo, unless you have a character that can use Loki or guard. But even then, matchups is a big thing in Burning Blood. When I look at, let's say, Xenoverse 2 and Naruto Storm 4, when it comes to the whole concept of matchups plays a bigger role in Burning Blood than either of those games. So with that said, you have to be more cautious due to that fact.
When it comes to my opinion on this, like, okay, when I first started playing One Piece Burning Blood, like, there's a habit that I do in fighting games is rushing, you know what I mean, Benji? Like, when you're playing a fighting game, especially an anime fighting game, the whole thing in your mind is to rush in. With Burning Blood, you can't necessarily rush in. You kind of have to feel your way in, because depending on how fast the person reacts and how fast the person mashes, you're gonna get bodied right off the bat. But what I do personally, I start blocking at the beginning to start so that I can actually feel my way into the fight. Like, some characters like Usopp require setups and require stuff to be set up in order to do combos, making him a lot more slower compared to characters like Naruto and like Goku in their other series, because no character really has set up moves. Like, for the most part, they kind of, I wouldn't say they fight the same, but they kind of fight similar to the game's rules. Like, with Burning Blood, everyone fights different. You got long range fighters, you got mid range fighters, and if you're fighting against someone long range, the pace of the fight is not going to be fast, if you know what I mean. Like, the pace of the fight can't be fast because you are constantly put in a position to chase your opponent. But there's one thing that people can say is that One Piece Burning Blood doesn't have one definitive dash mechanic. It has like dash moves, quick bursts of dash. It doesn't have one dash mechanic that allows you to run at high speed for the constant whole time. Like, that's one thing that people could say, and that can make people think that Burning Blood is slow. But in my opinion, I don't really feel like Burning Blood was trying to be a fast-paced game. I just feel like the game was trying to follow One Piece, the One Piece lore, trying to follow how these characters are suited in terms of the way the series is done. And then you got the factor that some characters are going to feel incredibly slow because of the size they are. Because One Piece characters, they're bigger than Naruto characters, they're bigger than Dragon Ball characters, they're bigger than characters in other series. You got Doflamingo, who's standing at 10 feet tall. So characters like that are just going to feel slow. But in terms of the game overall being slow, it really depends on how the person's fighting and who you're fighting with. Because you can't fight the same way with every character you use, if you know what I mean, Venge. Yeah, that's what I got to say. So, what you got? Anything else to add?
Yes. Another thing that I would like to add to this, in terms of what you're saying, is the actual skill level of the other player. Because there are some people out there that actually feels like Burning Blood is not competitive, especially when some quote-unquote said, "Oh, I can just button mash because this game is not competitive." Actually, realistically, the game does have a competitive nature. And like you just mentioned, you know, every character plays differently, and you have to understand the character to actually do real combos. Like, every character has the standard combo, but pretty much there are combos that goes beyond the standard combo, but you literally have to experiment and find them for yourself. Another thing that I'm going to throw in, okay, let's look at Xenoverse 2, right? How fast would Xenoverse be if you got rid of flying? How fast would Naruto Storm be if you got rid of dashing? So, I mean, it's really, I really find it strange to literally take games of completely different genres and try to gauge them based on how fast they are. You can get anywhere on the map instantaneously in Xenoverse 2. There is even an option where you can literally instantly fly to the person. Like, you know, when they change angles and they can just zip over
like
there real fast.
that one when you like press, I think it's like X, where you press it and it just literally just takes you towards like the person, like teleport to stop them from running.
Exactly. In Burning Blood, you have no such option. So, I mean, to literally say Xenoverse is faster than Burning Blood, I wouldn't necessarily say that. Both of those games have different mechanics, especially when you look at Xenoverse, they have a mechanic that actually encourages closing the gap extremely fast, whereas in Burning Blood, they have options like that, but not every character has that. You know what I mean? Some characters don't even have an ability to close in. Frankie, for example, his special movement is stupid. He literally just jumps super high in the air like the Incredible Hulk, if I'm not mistaken, and he doesn't even, you know, move very far when he does it. It's just like an extremely high jump, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and there's another one that you got to bear in mind. You got ones like Kizaru, who literally is in transmissions behind you. Oh, like he has the ability to teleport to where the opponent is. And then you got stuff like Law's shambles technique, which makes him teleport behind the opponent within his room. But like, I do see what people mean about like it being it feeling a lot slower, but that's more so the way the game needs to be played. Like, you can't play at high speed with everyone. Like, when it comes to judging Burning Blood on how fast the game was, it's more so harder to pinpoint it because the game is made in a way that you can't play at the same high speed with character A to character B. Like, for example, like the game is so vast in terms of where you use characters that some characters, like I said, need setup time. Like you were saying with Usopp, you need to set up his stuff in order to make Usopp work to his fullest ability. Like, some characters need a lot more time to actually set up their combos, making the game a lot slower. So saying it's slow is kind of unfair, but I can see what people mean. But if you're judging it being slow on combos, I would say that kind of is out of the question, because when it comes to Burning Blood, in terms of like it being slow in terms of combos. I would say it's faster because the combos are so much shorter compared to Storm and like Xenoverse. Xenoverse has like longer combos, like, if you know what I mean, Venge. But yeah. I do see what people mean why they're saying it's slow. But it's kind of hard to judge Burning Blood. That's like one of the worst games to judge because everyone is actually unique in their own way and is done so differently. But like I said, like, if you disagree with us, tell us down in the comment section below why you think me and Venge are wrong. But Venge, you got anything more to add? Oh yeah, I got a question to ask you. Yeah.
Go for it.
Do you think Burning Blood, like, can you see like a way that people like? Can you understand a way that people think it's slow compared to like Storm and like Xenoverse? Like, can you see how they're thinking about it? Like in terms of fighting games, like, is it really that slow compared to like hardcore fighting games and like other anime games as well? Or do you think people are kind of exaggerating like how slow Burning Blood is?
To be honest, I feel like it's more of an over exaggeration. Like, I could kind of see where some of them would say the game moves at a slower pace. It definitely moves at a slower pace, but I feel like when it comes to Burning Blood, it's only a slower pace because of not only because of the way the game is designed, and it depends on the abilities, or I should just say the skill level of the other player. Because if the other player knows a lot more tricks and they know how to get around certain things, it's going to make you be a bit more cautious, and you're trying to gauge what you can do against the other player, and usually that slows the pacing of the game down. The only thing that I can really see in regards to other people's thinking is maybe they're saying that because it takes longer to close that gap. I mean, like I said before, I mean, like in Xenoverse 2, I mean, people are literally able to fly anywhere on the map and close the gap in a matter of 1 second. When you look at Storm, kind of the same thing, as long as you're able to get around like the overpowered jutsus or whatever, and you can close the gap relatively fast with the dash. It's like Burning Blood, you can do that to a certain extent, but it always comes down to the matchups that you have and the characters that you've chosen and what the characters can do. I feel like people are over exaggerating it, because honestly, when I look at let's say like Burning Blood, and just to answer your question about Burning Blood and legit hardcore fighting games, like the traditional ones, pushing anime games aside now, like, honestly, the pacing between both of those games would be kind of like on a similar level. The only problem is One Piece would be a bit slower because, like, we're talking about a 3D plane. When you look at a lot of the fighting games out there, it's like a 2D / 3D-ish kind of thing. You have some games where it's 2D, and then you have other games where it's 3D, but the way they're designed, they close the gap from left to right. You know what I mean? Like, there's no up, down, left, right. The only reason why you would go up, down is the sidestep attacks, but you pretty much can close in faster than Burning Blood, since we're not talking about a full-on 360-degree angle type of arena, if you catch my drift there.
The Tokyo Drift?
Yeah, Tokyo Drift.
But is that what you gotta say? Because, like, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, yeah.
Okay, so like I said, guys, if you guys think me and Venge are wrong, put it down in the comment section below. As a whole, me personally, I don't care about the gameplay speed. Like, okay, I do care about the gameplay speed, but I don't care about, like, Burning Blood's gameplay speed. I don't care about it with, like, the way it is, if you know what I mean. I'm fine with it the way it is. If it gets faster, that's great. If it stays the same, I'm fine with it. But as a whole, guys, I want to know your thoughts. Leave that down in the comment section below. Also, check out Vengefulwilberg's channel. Link will be in the description below, or I might pin it to the comments. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. But anyways, please comment and subscribe. I know I say this all the time, but at the end of the day, I'm just saying, please leave a like, rating if you enjoyed this video. And yeah, this UK Chocolate Bar will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.
Peace.